Portions of the Sports Fix brought to you by Harry Buffalo. Harry Buffalo, join the herd.
Sports Fix listeners, don't wait all day or all week to get in on the fun. The party doesn't stop when we go off the air all week long. The Sports Fix Stop Shop for all things Cleveland Sports / The Sports Fix, Facebook.com/ because we love fans and they create some of the best sports talk in town, Daddy. You'll enjoy talking to your fellow Cleveland sports fans on the Sports Fix fan page. And if Twitter's your thing, well, you know how we do it. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. It's that simple.
Twitter.com/The Sports Fix CLE, baby.
Chat live with the crew during all your favorite Cleveland sports events, tickets and contests and trivia and so much more. Get with us today, The Sports Fix on social media, Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE. Join The Sports Fix on Facebook and Twitter today.
Merry Christmas, happy holidays, seasons, greetings, and blessings to each and every one of you from all of us here on the Sports Fix. Remember the true spirit of the season. We wish each and every one of you nothing but the best holiday. Enjoy your day and enjoy this very special best of the Sports Fix.
Hello, this is Austin Carr. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all my good friends in Cleveland.
Live in Ohio, it's time to get your fix. The Sports Fix.
Welcome into the Sports Fix live across the Sports Fix radio network. J-Rock Jerry Myers with you guys here as we are closer and closer to Christmas, baby. It's Tuesday edition of the Sports Fix coming your way. Another special best of holiday edition of the Sports Fix as I chose to focus this week on some of the best talkers and most eclectic voices of Cleveland sports over the years that we've had on the Sports Fix. Yesterday, great show with Dan Coughlin from the archives that we brought to you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. Today, Cleveland Indians fans, I've got your Christmas present wrapped up with a nice shiny red, white, and blue bow today, especially if you find yourself a fan of the 90s Indians, and who isn't here in Cleveland, because today we've got not one, but two of your favorites from those 90s Indian squads coming your way, as not only am I going to replay the audio of our sit-down chat with the one and only legendary voice of the Cleveland Indians, Tom Hamilton, but at the end of that interview, I've got some bonus interview coming your way, bonus footage, I guess, if you'd say, except it's not footage, it's audio, and it's an interview, so I don't know where I was going with that, but Carlos Baerga, the one and only legendary second baseman of those 90s Indians teams, I say legendary, but he was here for such a short period of time, but did so much in that time, burned his legacy here in Cleveland in that time frame. Carlos Baerga, when he was getting inducted into the Cleveland Indians Hall of Fame, I got a chance to go with our good buddy, the author Vince McKee, and sit down and talk to Carlos. I'm going to bring you some of that audio since we're going to be feeling in the 90s Indians mood by the time we're done talking to Tom Hamilton. So all of that is coming your way here today. I am extremely excited to bring this one to you. Thank you guys for being with us, of course, across the Sports Fix radio network. Welcome in those of you listening live on TuneIn and TuneIn's radio app worldwide, on Spreaker and Mixlr and their respective digital and mobile applications. Welcome in all of you, of course, here on the home base, your one-stop shop for all things Cleveland sports and Sports Fix. It is thesportsfix.net, the mothership, if you will. Make sure you bookmark that, by the way, because it's got everything you need. If you need to listen to the show, it launches live from that site every day, thesportsfix.net. Of course, welcome in as well, everybody in listening on digital delay, thousands of you around the world 24/7, listening on iHeartRadio, the world's largest internet radio network, on iTunes, on Stitcher, on SoundCloud, on all of the podcast formats, CarPlay, all the different places that you download, feed, subscribe, listen to the show, however you enjoy and partake in some Sports Fix, baby. Thank you so much for doing it with us again, a special holiday edition of the Fix. You can still be a part of the show. I'm sitting here live talking to you guys, monitoring the messages and the social media, so hit us up. Leave a message on the hotline, 216-539-7535. Hit us up on Facebook and Twitter, Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix CLE, and of course you can email us 24/7, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Let's go ahead and get moving with this bad boy. You know what? I wanted to quickly tell you guys that my Christmas present to the Sports Fix Nation was doing these shows here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, these best of holiday shows, because I debated cracking that microphone to start things off yesterday, and I said, you know what, the last thing Cleveland needs on Christmas week, it's bad enough there's no snow, I'm not complaining, but there's probably no white Christmas here, there's no snow out there, that kind of makes it humdrum enough as it is. I'll be doggone, no pun intended, Browns fans, I'll be doggone if I was going to kick off our Christmas week here complaining about a humdrum Cleveland Browns loss, talking about the injury to Johnny Manziel and how that changes things even more, and evaluations and draft picks. Guys, we've got lots of time to do all that. I said, man, let's have some fun. And don't forget, we will be live, as live can be, Friday with a regular hardcore sports fix, baby, coming your way. We've got Browns previews for the final game of the season. It's Ravens week and all of that. Sports fix live, back in effect this Friday. But I just wanted to tell you guys that I debated that, and I said, you know what? We can do better than that. We're going to have some fun, listen to some great interviews, come back kicking it in the tail on Friday after Christmas. So, guys, sit back and relax. Let's get the first break out of the way. When we come back, I'm kicking it off hot and heavy, running and rolling, baby. Rocking and rolling, maybe. We're running. I don't know. I put them together. You got running and rolling. Either way, Tom Hamilton, the voice of the Cleveland Indians, is coming your way right after this next. Don't go anywhere. As a matter of fact, tell your fellow Indians fans to tune in now, however you're enjoying the Sports Fix, because on the other side of this break, it is the voice of the Cleveland Indians, Tom Hamilton, talking about the 90s Jacobs Field, whatever you want to call it, Progressive Field. It'll always be the Jake to me. Glory days in Tribe Town and more. The voice of the Indians, Tom Hamilton, joins us next here on the Sports Fix.
We're on the warpath, we're spreading far and wide. We're talking baseball, talking tribe. You're talking baseball, talking tribe.
The Sports Fix, the show that asks the question,
What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about? What you talking about, Lou? What you talking about? What you talking about, Lou?
We'll be right back.
Sports Fix listeners, you've heard me talking about it. Millionaires being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. I've been playing there too. It's now J-Rock's favorite one-week fantasy football site. What's one-week fantasy football? That means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Have a player who's hurt? That's no problem at all, because you change everything week to week. Injuries don't derail your chance at victory. It's a new season every week. You're never stuck with the same players. You can pick your team in just minutes and be on your way to winning huge cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. And a new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day. $1 million just for playing fantasy football at DraftKings.com. Head to DraftKings.com now and use promo code Spreaker to play for free in the $10 million Fantasy Football World Championships. DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker now at DraftKings.com.
The Sports Fix is on iHeartRadio. Download the free iHeart app today. Subscribe to the show and get your fix.
At the corner of Carnegie and Ontario, it's basketball time at the Q.
Have you gotten your copy of Cleveland's Finest yet? Highlighting the best moments, players, and media members in Cleveland sports history?
He won it! Milo hit a three-pointer on the sideline!
In-depth personal interviews with some of the top names in Cleveland sports fill the pages of this incredible book.
Joe Gray, Fred McLeod, Hector Marinero.
Discussing the most intimate and sometimes controversial details of the largest moments in our town's sports history.
The Indians have won the divisional title.
A perfect game for Len Barker.
What a win for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their first time in a playoff.
It's the first book written from the player's point of view, with the media that covered it and the fans that watched. Finally, the true stories are told, from a miracle in Richfield to the NBA Finals.
The Detroit Pistons have been booby-trapped.
From a perfect game to a World Series one pitch from victory.
The World Series.
From a a Wildcat High School dynasty to the golden days of the Browns, Barons, and Crunch. This book will change the way the entire sports nation looks at Cleveland.
Cleveland, you will have an October to remember.
Cleveland's Finest by Vince McKee is this year's must-have book for every Cleveland sports fan. Available now at Amazon.com. Get your copy today. Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. Real time spent making real decisions, creating real victory.
I'm the greatest man in the world!
And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize.
I mean, a really real prize.
Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs.
The trophy's 12 feet high, and it is glorious!
Football, baseball, hoops, you name it, they have it. Plus, they have awesome draft kits and party supplies to make all your preseason activities the envy of everyone. If your league needs a ring, belt, or trophy, or you want to upgrade what you already have, there's literally only one place to go. If you're going to be a fantasy jock, do it right.
It's mine, the most magnificent belt ever created, and it's mine.
With America's fantasy sports superstore, FantasyJocks.com.
Hey, Cleveland, this is Anderson Varejão from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I wish you all a Merry Christmas and great holidays.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix Live. Thank you guys. J-Rock, Jerry Myers, back with you here live on the air, getting ready to go to the phone lines in just a moment. I know a lot of you guys out there excited about this one. Tom Hamilton, the voice of the Cleveland Indians, getting ready to join us here on the Sports Fix. Always get extra excited when it's a first-time guest on the show, let alone somebody of Hammy's standing and reputation. You guys know, I'm just going to go ahead and say this now before I get him on the air, but you guys know, we say that he's going to think I'm only saying this because he's on, but you guys know how many times we've said on the show over the years that Cleveland fans have been lucky, fortunate to have some of the best broadcasters across the board in their sports. I mean, all of them. Over the years, we've talked about the different ones, and Tom Hamilton, no different, top of his game. Very excited about this one, you guys. And we're going to talk about, not only talk, end of this, a copy of the new book by Terry Pluto and Tom Hamilton, Glory Days in Tribetown, talking about the Indians and Jacobs Field, specifically the early part of that era through 97 or so. And we're going to bring you a chance at the end of this to win a copy of that. Phones are not open because Hammy's on the line, so you can keep the conversation going on Facebook and Twitter, facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at thesportsfixcle. Email us, thesportsfix@aol.com. I'm going to go to the phones, and right now, my guest, very honored to have him, the voice of the Cleveland Indians. You gave him that name. We all did. Tom Hamilton. Tom, thank you so much for being with us today on the show.
Well, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
Oh, thank you very much for being here. As I said, Cleveland fans have been very fortunate over the years to have some great broadcasters helping bring the theater of the mind to them through the radio, and you are at the top of that list, and I'm very honored to have you here on the show.
Well, thank you. That's very kind, and I've been the lucky one to have a job like this, and secondly, to have a passionate fan base to broadcast to, because that's what any broadcaster wants, is people that care, whether they're happy or mad. That sure beats apathy, and this has always been a great fan base.
Absolutely, and you've gotten a chance 25 years deep now to see that fan base at the depths of the apathy, a perfect word there, and at the absolute peak of the great times there. Talk to me a bit. I guess from the beginning, I got a kick talking about Glory Days in Tribetown right from the beginning, as you talk about your initial run there with Herb's score and some of those conversations, the road trips and all of that. Talk to me a bit, if you don't mind, about getting started with the Indians and the beginning of the journey you find yourself now on the other end of.
Well, I mean, for me, it was really no different than a player, in that, you'd worked your way up the ladder, whether it was high school or then college and eventually minor league ball, starting in A ball. So it's very much like a player. When you get that call to the major leagues, you know how fortunate and blessed you are, and